Close to the camera. See, he's 5 pounds right now.
We're here at the media day for the 2021 Bass Nation Classic on Ray Roberts.
This is a tank. Look at the size of this thing.
Progress we've made so far on our Hobie PA14. Got it wired up for 12 volt right now. We got the P127. That money!
That's a monster!
Got one. Took him long enough, didn't it? He knows.
You know that's your outro.
I know, but I mean, like, I was waiting on you because, like, you just kind of put me on the spot and it's like it didn't flow. Right?
Whatever. All right, guys. All right, everybody. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to One Objective tonight. This is a pre-recording. This isn't live. So if you guys are seeing it right now on Facebook and YouTube and you're like, wait a minute, what happened here? I missed it, or why can't I ask a question, you know, here on the side there. It's we're doing pre-recording today. Just a lot going on this afternoon. So wasn't going to be able to go live. So I wanted to get it recorded and edit it and get it up for you guys this afternoon. So but I do want to thank y'all for tuning in. I want to thank all of our great sponsors that's helped out with this show. We got some really good companies that are help supporting this channel and all that we do for you guys. So I want to thank Waterland Sunglasses. They have been phenomenal with all that they have done for us so far for the 2020 at the end of 2022, and I guess actually it's been the beginning of 2023. But anyways, they have been a great company to work with. They got all kinds of different frames, several different kinds of lenses to fit all your needs when it comes to fishing cloudy conditions and fishing real sunny conditions, and just a great company to work with. And I loved all that they've done for us. But if you go and use One Objective at checkout, use promo code One Objective at checkout, you get 15% off. So go help support that company because they help support us, and it just really means a lot to us if you can go show some love with them. Also, I want to thank Missile Baits. They've been a big help with us this year. Actually, since the show has begun, they have been a big help with us with giveaways and sending us product, do some, help shoot some video with and all that stuff. So been great working with Missile Baits. They got a really great lineup. My favorite all-time missile bait product they make is the Baby Destroyer. So but anyways, you can go to oneobjectivebf.com and check those baits out. Also want to thank Amped Outdoors. They came on board with us this year, and super phenomenal company. Got some great lithium batteries. We got 3 of them set up in our kayaks right now for running our trolling motor and running our graphs and our live scope and all that stuff. And now we just got set up. We're going to be doing a video here soon on our Ranger 198P, where we just got we're switching over to a 36 volt system lithiums. And then we're also putting 100 amp hour in just to run our graphs and stuff. So really excited to get all that set up and installed and shoot some video on it for you guys to see that. So, but I really want to thank all them companies that's come on board. And also I got one other company that they really help us out a lot when it comes to being creative and helping us create new products. And that's going to be Bob's Up the Creek Outfitters. He's really helped us out a lot the last several years with getting us some kayaks and getting us everything we need just to help get you guys some great kayak accessories. So make sure you go check out Bob's Up the Creek Outfitters. He's got 2 locations. He's got one in Amherst and he's got one in Manita. And I mean, they deal with Crescent, they deal with Old Town, they deal with Big Adventures, all kinds of different brands. And I think, and also they're a wilderness dealer as well. So make sure you go check them out. Got a lot more coming in store for their 2023 season with hopefully a couple other brands. So can't wait to see what all works out with them this year and how their business does. So, but anyways, guys, I want to thank all of them. So if y'all please go check them out, show them some love. They show us some love. So let's support them companies. But Chris, how you doing tonight, man? We ain't talked. We talked on the way back from Guntersville, but I mean, we ain't really got to hang out. We was gonna try to this weekend, and some plans got changed. But How you been doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good.
The weather's just beautiful over there, right? Like it is here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of snow around, a little cold, rainy,
Yeah, it's
a
just
little bit of everything.
it's one of them days to sit inside and watch. Well, football ain't on, so we'll
Yeah.
watch NASCAR. You know, it's
Yeah.
just a good day to sit there and watch NASCAR. So,
Yep.
man, it's been a rough week for us recouping. I'm gonna say. I mean, we just got back from Guntersville on Tuesday. Had a lot of orders to get out, and actually, the championship is kind of snuck up on us. We didn't place out the timing right. You know what I mean? When we were doing everything and getting everything set up, we forgot that the championship is in the middle of the week, the tournament at Chickamauga. Normally, you know, they start on a Saturday. So you got like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of practice. That's how we normally do it. So, but this one is on Wednesday and Thursday. So we got to start practice on Saturday. So we're going to be driving down next Saturday this coming up Saturday, I guess it would be. We're driving down, and I'm hoping to get in around lunchtime and start practicing so we can practice Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So get some time in. But I definitely want to get our time in. I want to get some practice done and have that time on the water and figure out a few things. And I'll talk about it a little bit here in a little bit why I'm persistent on wanting to get so much practice in this tournament and for future events. But anyways, yeah, it was great when we got back. Super busy. I really, really appreciate all of our customers. We've got a really great customer base. They're amazing people. We get a lot of phone calls every day on questions and we make this amount or that amount or whatever. I mean, we get a lot of feedback from our customers. For the most part, every single one of them are great people. You know what I mean? Every once in a while you get that one that's kind of, it still turns out to be a great relationship, but every once in a while you get that one, you're just kind of
get that rocky start.
Yeah. It's just a little bumpy. It's just like
It
smooths on out. You know what I mean? But no, all our customers are great. I love them all. So, and for us to be such a small business, I mean, like say, a lot of people don't realize it. Some do. Some of the phone calls we get, I think they think we're like a multi-billion-dollar corporation or something, you know, and they call and this things that they say at first are kind of like, hey, buddy, we're a small business. We're just two people running this whole ordeal. We got our kids that help us out. We got our wives that help us out. Ashley was a big help while we were gone. At shipping her and James's daughter was a big help at getting things shipped out for us while we were gone. We had a big amount of inventory built up before we left because my family came down and we just built up a bunch of stuff and that way when we're gone and shipped, well, we actually ran through a lot of that stuff before we even got to Guntersville. So, I mean, it was really amazing when we come back. You know, you come back and the shelves are empty and you're like, oh crap, man, we just built all that stuff up. But it's also a blessing too. You know what I mean? Like you're not complaining about the business. It's just, you're like, oh crap, now we got to really work, you know. So, but I do appreciate everybody's support. It really means a lot to us. So, but let's get into Guntersville, man. Guntersville was an up and down whirlwind.
A roller coaster of emotions.
A roller coaster of emotions. It was fun. You know, it was a bucket list lake. I've had the opportunity to ride on. Me and James and Jason all had the opportunity to ride on that lake when the Bassmasters Classic was there, when Hank Cherry won. We got to do the ride along with the pros on the final day of the Bassmasters Classic. I rode with Skylar Hamilton. James rode with John Cox, and Jason Hensley rode with Seth Fighter. And we learned so much because, you know, the lake is a little bit further along than what it was. We were down there for the Classic, but it was still some techniques like what Skylar Hamilton was doing with the spinnerbait is basically what I caught my fish off of the whole time. I did catch one off a chatterbait and I caught one off a frog, but it wasn't, I had some blow-ups on a frog, but it just, I couldn't keep things going. I couldn't get into that quality size fish that I needed to push me up there on the leaderboard. You know, I mean, I ended up finishing, I think 111th out of this whole deal. I only had 80 some inches total. I mean, them guys really, really set the world on fire up top there. But I mean, like I say, it was a fun event. it was a bucket list lake to finally get on and fish. It just didn't turn out as great as I would have loved it to have been. Even if I finished in the top 50, I think I'd have been a little happier than where I finished. But I mean, during practice, I was able to get on some fish. And then, you know, talking about the weather, we ended up having, so we got down there Tuesday night and we ended up sleeping in the Walmart parking lot. And then Wednesday, we got out, we went practicing. I finally got on the water at like, I'm going to say like 7 o'clock, something like that, 7:30. And it just went like, I mean, the practice seemed like the spot I had seemed like it was going to really hold up and be a good fishery. And that's where I caught fish off a frog. I think I ended up catching one off a Cinco. And then it started, I didn't get none. So I loaded up and I went down to Salty Creek and found some lily pad stems and was able to catch some like 17s, you know, 15s, stuff like that. Inches, not pounds, and on a spinnerbait, on a Colorado spinnerbait. And they were just eating it, man, right on the edge. And you can see bait fish up there. So I'm like, man, if this will hold up, this might be something I can make just to make a top 50 cut, you know, like I didn't think this was going to be a winning pattern. I knew it wouldn't be. But anyways, so I was like, well, I'm going to leave this alone. And then tomorrow I'm going to go fish a couple other places like Browns and all that. Well, then they were calling for a lot of bad storms Saturday, which I wished I still would have went because it dumped rain all day. And I'm talking dumping rain, heavy rain, had thunder. Thunder don't bother me. Lightning kind of, you know, worries me, especially when you got that big, huge 8-foot power pole hanging off the back of your boat.
Oh yeah.
That worries me a little bit.
Big, you know? Lightning rod.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got a bunch of other ones standing all around you. So it's like you're just calling lightning, you know? So, you know, we decided to go look around and look at ramps, you know, and figure out some other ramps that might have the potential of the certain grass that we were looking for, the certain, you know, maybe rock or, you know, just certain things in the area that we were looking for. Because, you know, we can fish offshore, but Guntersville to me is I'm not good at fishing grass. I've never been great at fishing grass, like maybe lily pads. But fishing straight grass, I'm not good at it. I don't have the opportunity to fish it a lot. So, anyways, we decided just to, you know, find what we want on the bank and fish shallow and all that stuff, which we were able to find. And Jason Hensley was the same way. He was able to find a lot of fish in a foot of water, you know, and they were up there. There's big ones up there. But what it sounds like, the guys that won it was out there in the middle in these grass flats fishing, you know, anywhere between say 4 to 8 foot of water, you know, in that grass, ripping rattle traps. And I tried it. I just could not make it work. Could not get that going. So, but anyway, so Saturday, we never got on the water at all. We actually spent more money on Saturday. I hate when we get days where you can't practice because we end up spending way more money than we need to because we're right around a bunch of different tackle stores and we find a bunch of stuff that we probably didn't need. So, anyways, we ended up.
You can always find a use for it.
What's that?
You can always find a use for it.
Oh yeah, I mean you can never have too much tackle, I guess. Yeah. But you know, a lot of the stuff that we buy is like stuff that we normally use. We're not just buying like crazy off the wall stuff. Every once in a while, you might find like a swim bait or something. Like, I'm gonna try that, you know. But anyways, we went around and looked at a bunch of different tackle stores, rode all around, ate good, nice couple barbecue places and stuff like that. But you know, that Wednesday night though, what I was talking about after the first practice, we had tornado warnings go off. I mean, it's like 11:30, and the group of guys we were with, Kenny and Russ, and not Russ Snyder's, I can't think of his last name, from Florida, that runs the KBL. Well, it's not Kayak Bass League now. I can't remember what they call it. But anyways, but Bob Brisky and, you know, me, Jason, and James were all in a house, and we're playing pool and all that stuff. And all of a sudden you just hear these alarms going off. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And I'm like, but our phone ain't going. You know, back home, if we get tornado warnings, our phone starts just going nuts. So we walk outside and they're just going, and it is dead calm, which is the first thing you probably shouldn't do. The worst thing you shouldn't do. You should do is walk outside when you got tornado warnings going off at 11:30 at night. So then we're like, all right, let's get our shoes on just in case this thing hits. We walking on glass and debris and stuff. And then we're like, where are we even going to go? Because this house, it's kind of like, was built into a hill, so you just had steps that kept going down to like different levels. I ain't gonna say it was like 2 stories or 3 stories. It was just kind of way it was built in the house in the ground there, and it was a huge drop off to the lake.
Yeah.
And but we did determine that the room that me and James was staying in was kind of like the best area because you're kind of underground a little bit or up in the bank, you know, and had like a washroom right there. So we're like, all right, this is where we're gonna go if this thing hits. So we all kind of chilled out down there for a while until the alarms went off and the warnings went away. Went back playing pool for a little bit. All that came through on Wednesday night, and then Thursday night is when all the rain came in. And then Friday they were calling for 20 to 30 mile an hour winds with 45 to 50 mile an hour gusts. Well, then as the day went on, they were calling for 80 mile an hour gusts.
Oh, it's getting worse.
Yeah. And man, we probably could have went out in the morning and fished till about 9 or 10. And it'd have been like 20 mile an hour winds, you know what I mean? Like we fished Toledo Bend when it was 40. So I think we could have handled that. But I'm glad we come off of water. I mean, I'm glad we didn't go out on the water in a way because like the storms that came in when that front come through were just horrendous. I mean, the tornado warnings got to going off. They went off several times on Friday. Yeah, it was Friday when all those warnings was going off. So then me and Jason was out in the backyard and we were just watching. Like, we were like, dude, this thing's looking pretty nasty. You know, like it's getting really black over there. We're looking at the radar. Tornado warnings are going off. Well, then all of a sudden our phone got to going off with the tornado warnings, you know, telling us take shelter. One's in our area. What do? We walk on a back porch.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just dead calm. Like dead calm. And then all of a sudden you can start seeing like on the water, it looked like little water spouts twisting up. Like I was like, man, this thing's gonna drop right here. But you could hear roaring in the background. Like, oh, because it was like a tree line. And on the other side of the tree line, you could just hear roaring, like a constant roar. It sounded like a train. And at first I thought it was just thunder. It was never ending. You know what I mean? And it just kept going. It never stopped. And all of a sudden, you could see it come out from the tree line on the side, but you could hear like it was tearing up stuff. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a massive one. It's probably like an F1 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then by the time I realized that what I'm watching and what I'm seeing here, I need to get my phone out and record it. And then when I get it, it's like just going back up in the sky. You know what I mean? But after that was done, we went down to the barbecue place, and which was right down below us on the lake, and we was talking to them down there, and they watched it come across the horizon there around over the lake and stuff. So it was pretty wild. I got to see my first tornado like in the distance. You know, we had one that hit here like 2 or 3 houses down, but it just it took one tree down and tree topped everything and then touched down probably about a mile from us. So, but to actually see one there, but I mean, we had a house down below us. It had 2 trees that got knocked down, right down below us. So, but other than that, I mean, that was pretty cool. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I don't like seeing my stuff get tore up, but to actually see one, it's pretty neat to see it in person, I guess. As a bucket list thing, I guess I got finally checked off that I seen
Well,
a
there you go.
So
now you just got to go out in Kansas or somewhere and watch one of the big ones.
Yeah, one of the big ones.
Yeah.
I told my wife I wanted to do that. You know how they got those trips where you can take like trips, you know, but I mean they're really expensive. My wife told me that's crazy. Like,
they don't guarantee you're gonna see one either.
No, you're gonna just travel around and eat, I guess. I don't know what else do you do?
Just ride around looking for them, I guess. I don't know.
My luck, I'd sign up for it and be that year like there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, just the weather is not bad at all. So, but so anyways, yeah, we had a good time down there. Had a great time with some friends and eating and you know, cooking on the grill, and I brought down a bunch of deer burger and we ate a lot of that up, you know, and just played a lot of pool and shuffleboard, basically. I guess that's what it was shuffleboard. But
you
anyway,
take the stick and move the little discs.
Well, this one was like it's a really long board, and then you got these round, like really heavy metal circles. You know what I mean? And you slide it with your hand.
Yeah, it's basically the same
concept. You know, you try to knock out. But we had Bob Barisky on, and I mean, playing, and I suck at pool. I ain't gonna lie to you. I really suck at pool. Like, I thought I would get better the more I played, because I used to play a little bit when I was younger. We used to go to pool hall and stuff, but I was never good then either. You know what I mean? But I was hoping by chance I would get better, and I never did. I still sucked just as bad as I did when I left as when I got there. So I know that game is not for me, but I still like to play it. It's still fun to play. I do way better on the app on my phone, the pool game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like a hustler on there, you know.
There you
go. But anyways, we had a good time down there. Just like say that what messed us up, I feel like, is we did not commit no time to practice, whether it's rain or shine. You know what I mean? Yeah. Windy, I'm not gonna go out when it's that windy. I think it's a dumb decision to go out when you got winds over 25, 40 miles an hour. Me personally, if you're depending on the lakes you're on, the body of water you're on, 40 mile an hour is dangerous. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it was several people had to be rescued down there because of the rain and the wind. I mean, one guy from one of the stories I heard, he got flipped over in the wind and he got to shore, but they didn't find his kayak and like several miles down. So, I mean, I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, some of these guys I talk to, like, oh man, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You can't be scared. You can't be scared. It ain't nothing about being scared. It's about being smart.
Yeah,
you know
safe.
I mean? Yeah. I mean, and it kind of blew my mind that they didn't even cancel practice for Friday just because of the weather, the tornadoes that were coming. I mean, Bassmasters on the opens and on the elites, I mean, they're going to cancel practice or they're going to cancel events because of weather conditions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a pride thing with some of these. Like, I went out when the bass boats didn't go out or so. You know what I mean? Like, it's just to a point.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, to a point, it's kind of like, what is the point of going out, risking your life for this? But you got to kind of wise up, be smart about it, I guess, eventually. I mean, I love fishing just as much as the next guy. And we've done some stupid stuff in bass boats with weather conditions. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I don't get it, man. They don't cancel or delay or any of that stuff like on some of the stuff. It's just it is what it is. It's the same for everybody, you know. It's just liability wise, I haven't quite understood it. But anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. We had a good conversation about that at the house one day. And, you know, I know we're in Life Fest. I know we're in kayaks and all that stuff. When it comes down to it, though, you want to go back home to your family is, you know, the way you were when you got down there, not in a wooden box. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But anyways, we had a good time. I'm looking forward to, you know, maybe getting back on Guntersville again sometime. I want to get down there and fish that grass and learn it, you know, because that's stuff that you could take with you other lakes down south. Up here, we don't have that much stuff. You know what I mean?
The temperature, like water temperature?
So it depended on where you're at. It was crazy because like where Jason was at, which was only a mile away from me, and they were finding temperatures of like 63.
Oh wow, got warm down there.
Yeah. And then and where I was at, which was like say a mile up, and I was in some of that grass, but I had a little bit deeper spots, and I was getting like 55, 56. So I thought maybe I was like, man, Jason's graph is wrong. You know what I mean? There's no way it's that warm.
Yeah.
But then James was down in some spots, and that's what he was getting. So I picked up, and when I went to Saudi, and I put in, and I'm like, man, that's just 63 degrees. So I was like, well, let me let this stay in the water for a little bit longer. So an hour later, I checked it, 64 degrees. I'm like, holy crap.
Well, there you go.
They're going to be, you know, and we talked to some people. They were finding them spawning. But what happened was, so my getting back into this story was the stuff that I practiced for and the stuff that I looked at during tournaments. During when we was riding around looking at ramps, the water was clear. You know, you had good grass and all that. When all that wind came in, all that rain came in, the water started coming up. Like it rose like a foot to a foot and a half. And all of a sudden, all my water that I was liking was muddy. I mean, just brown, you know. A lot of that grass was packed tight up against the bank where the wind been hitting it all day, you know, and just packed it really tight. Like you need like a 2-ounce punch weight to get through that stuff. It was just in there really tight. And then like I would come up on some bridges that I was trying to throw A-rig, could not get that going. It's like they would chase it a little bit. I even changed up baits. They just wouldn't commit to it. Like they were, or they were running from it. Yeah. So I ended up going and catching 2 13s right off the bat on a spinnerbait. and then on a bridge on the riprap, you know. And then I loaded up. That was in Browns where I caught those at. And I loaded up, and then I went to Saudi, and I ended up catching a 16 on a chatterbait, 16-incher, and then I hung a 14 on riprap with a spinnerbait, and I had my trolling motor on constant, and my freaking line got hung up in it.
Oh, shit.
So when I went to pull the motor up, the fish is just hanging there. So I get the net trying to get under them, and I ended up flopping, coming off. And that was basically my day. And then on the second day, I went up the river, way up the river where I practiced the first day. I found a rock bluff that had wind hitting it, and I picked a spinnerbait up and got to throwing it and caught 3 more and lost 1. So it was just, I don't know, man. I couldn't make it happen. No matter where I went, I couldn't make the big bites happen.
What was the winning length?
Was it 100 and trying to think of what it was. I gotta pull it up here. Give me a second. Let's see. There's Guntersville. Greg Diploma. I said Diploma. I can't think how you say his last name. DePalma. Greg DePalma. He's an Elite Series pro.
Oh, okay.
He ended up winning it. He had 189 inches.
Oh, wow.
189 3/4 actually. And he had 93 the first day and 96 the second day. So, I mean, he hammered it. And, you know, and something else too, man, like big congratulations to Jason Hensley on a 9th place finish. I mean, it was actually a DQ in front of him like a couple days, like a day or so afterwards. We got home, and he noticed they sent him more money, and it was a DQ. So he moved up. He was 10th, but he had 172.
Okay, I seen the picture of him holding the 10th place check or whatever it was up. So
yeah,
I guess he got bumped up 1.
Yeah, he got bumped up 1. I was 112th. I moved up to 111th.
Well, there you go.
I needed quite a few more though for something to happen to really move up.
You made 100 and top. You're in the 100 and top 15.
Yeah. So, but,
yeah,
it was. I made the top 115. That's what you need. That's what I need to tell people. Make it sound real good, man. I made the top 115.
Yeah.
But no, man. It was fun. It was just with water fluctuation and all that stuff. It just threw at me a massive curveball. And some of these guys are really good at making those adjustments, especially if you know Guntersville. If you know Guntersville and you know how those fish set up in the grass, you know where to look, how to fish that deeper grass and stuff, you got an edge on everybody. And I think that's what it was going to take for that. Because I just, like I say, I knew nothing about Guntersville. I knew stuff that Skylar Hamilton fished when I was with him, and I tried it, but it was already like 8 kayaks that rolled through there and hit the same stuff before I got there. And then it was bass boats behind me. And, you know, I mean, like that was the overwhelming thing for me with Guntersville was, you know, sometimes like if you fish a tournament and you roll in, and there's some tournaments where it's a lot of boats on the lake, you know what I mean? But we just, you know, if you see somebody sitting there, you just roll onto your next spot. And then you hope that no one's on that one. But here, if you're fishing, man, they roll right up on top of you and start casting. I mean, I'm fishing a daggone bridge, and you know, one dude before we get started, he rolls up and he goes on the other side of the bridge and he's casting, you know. Well, then here comes another dude coming in on you, you know what I mean? And then another dude coming in on you. I had bass boats come up beside me. I'm like, man. I mean, that lake just keeps producing when it's that much pressure. It's just, you know, back home, they're gonna be like, hey man, why are you sitting down right there? I'm fishing this bank, you know, like Guntersville. They're just like, hey man, I'm coming right beside you. Okay. Like, but I mean, it's just so many fish down there. It's just crazy. But I don't know. I'm just, you know what I mean? I had my I'm gonna say 4 or 5 hour drive home where I was able to pout it out. You know what I mean? And or about 6 hour drive.
So you and James didn't ride together?
No, we took separate cars because you know, we'll probably ride together when we go down to Texas, just because it's so long, you know, and gas and all that stuff, and we'll just make it work. But me and James fish the same, but we fish different too. You know what I mean? Like there's things that I might find an area that I really like, and he might find an area that has, or he might not do good there. You know what I mean? Or
he might want to go somewhere else. That makes sense. Yeah.
And then, you know, if you're sucking it up that day and you want to load up, like we did at Wolf and Fox, we found an area because we didn't practice much when we got up there. We just went fishing because we didn't have a lot of time to get up there early and practice. So I finally found an area that I liked that looked really appealing to me, and James, it looked good to him too. But I think I kind of hit the juice where he was at. He just it wasn't working. You know what I mean? So he ended up loading up and going to a different spot. And I had to, wait for him to come back and load my stuff back
Yeah,
up.
it gets aggravating.
Yeah, it was tough. So, but now Chickahominy is gonna be the same way. We're taking 2 different vehicles. Hartwell's.
Chickamauga?
Yeah, what did I say? Chickahominy.
Chickahominy?
Yeah, that's like right here. Chickamauga. Yeah, so we're gonna take 2 cars down there to Chickamauga, and we got a nice house we rented. It's kind of crazy. I mean, we were trying to get some people to stay with us. We got a really nice house, big house,
Yeah.
but we were actually trying to find something smaller and just couldn't. And this came up, so I was like, well, we'll just get this, and maybe a few people stay with us. But some of the people that we know that we're traveling with, they didn't make the championship. You know what I mean? Or some people's already had just stuff reserved to stay with other people. Like a lot of the Dakota guys, they all stay together. Dakota gets them a house and all that stuff. So, but anyways, we didn't make it happen with staying anybody else, which is fine. I mean, it really don't bother me because when you stay with people, sometimes it's good because you can kind of understand what people are doing. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I was catching them this and that. But then like when you don't have all that chatter going on, that kind of messes you up. You kind of got to do your thing. So, and I really like that. I don't like getting around a lot of people when they start talking about what you're catching. I don't want to hear that. It messes me up. I like to throw it.
Because then your album would be trying to throw what they throw, and it might not work for where you're at.
Yeah. And you don't know if they're just feeding your head full of crap. You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean?
might sound using banjo minute or something like that.
Yeah. Carolina rigging a deep crankbait or something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, something like that. So, yeah, I don't know, kind of staying away. I stay away. I try to stay away from the best I can. So, but Chickamauga, we're going to get some practice in. We didn't do it at Guntersville, and I feel like it really kicked us in the butt, and I think Chickamauga is going to be the tournament where I'm going to turn my practice around and do things a little bit different and actually put in the time and all that, because these guys that are doing well, that's what they're doing. They're putting their time in, man. That's what it takes. Of all the shows that we've done, you listen to everybody and it's always time on the water. And when you don't put that time in and you don't work hard for it, it's not going to happen. You might get lucky, but it ain't going to, you ain't even carry that luck every tournament you go to. You know what I mean? I mean, you might get lucky and just happen to find that magical spot and it just works. I mean, to be quite honest with you, that's what happened with me and James at Lake Fork. We went down, had no practice whatsoever. We put in on the day of the tournament and we caught them. But we just got lucky. Went Santee Cooper. We practiced. We didn't practice super hard, but we didn't catch a fish for like 4 days straight down there. Florida, we practiced. We put some good time in at Florida, and we caught some decent fish. You know what I mean? We caught some fish. And did we win? No. James won big fish, but but I mean, we had an okay points event, in that. So this one, not so good a points event. We didn't fish good. We didn't practice like we should. Jason, though, he just found that really good spot, and which I'm not saying he got lucky. He just happened to stumble right on that good spot, and he caught him. And it held up for him. He made the right adjustments on Sunday. He was a little nervous. We talked after the tournament. He said he didn't catch his first keeper until 11 o'clock. And it was like an 18-incher or something like that. And then he started putting them together, But it just took him a while to get it. Everything changed. I mean, hell, the water temperature dropped like 3 degrees. So when I put in that morning, it was 50. What did I say? 52, something like that. 53 degrees where I put in at that morning on Sunday. I mean, it's crazy how much it changed. So, but Chickamauga, like I said, that's coming up. We're going to get down there Saturday morning, midday Saturday, and get some practice on. And excited because the family, they're going to be coming down Thursday afternoon, and we'll meet up with them in Knoxville. And then we're going to stay down there and enjoy the classic as a fan. Hopefully we make it to the stage. The top 10 make it to the stage in the kayak event. So hopefully we make it to the top 10 and we'll be on stage. But if not, we're going to go down and enjoy the Bassmasters Classic as a fan and not as media. You know what I mean? Like, we might shoot some video here and there, but like, we've dedicated so much time in the last several years to just doing media and doing coverage and getting interviews and all that. I want to be a fanboy this time, and just
let's take it all in.
Yeah, go get pictures with the pros and all that stuff like everybody else does.
Yeah.
So
Go see the vendors or whatnot if they have them down there.
yeah, oh yeah. The expo is gonna be monstrous. The expo is gonna be a big deal down there. So excited to go down there. And
So they have that in Knoxville, but they have the tournament at Chickamauga, which is basically in Chattanooga.
yes, so the kayaking side, but
Oh, okay.
the elites are going to be fishing the Tennessee River right there.
Okay, right there in downtown Knoxville.
Yeah,
basically, yeah.
Yep, and they can run down to all the little different lakes and stuff like that we'll be fishing. So they don't have to go too far. Well, ours is like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
but that's why we got the house in Dayton, then we got another house in Knoxville. So we'll just pack up, head to Knoxville. Hour and a half later.
Maybe Bucky's will be open then. I don't know when it's supposed to open.
Are they near Knoxville?
It's right there at the 407.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no
right where you turn to go to Pigeon Forge. That's where they're building it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when it opens. It might not be open by then.
Yeah. Well, you see, they're opening one, and they're going to be opening one in Virginia, man. I mean, it's going to be a ways from us. I mean, it ain't like it's.
Yeah, they want to. Yeah.
I think
it's still closer to the one in. The closest one here is what?
South Carolina, ain't it?
Yeah. Until they build the one in Tennessee, then that'll be the closest one.
Yeah, and then if they build that one, what I mean is going to be 64 up there around Richmond area, so it was like 2 hours.
No, it's going to be where 64 and 81 meet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that ain't too far then, right?
Yeah, exit 211, I think is where they want to build it.
So was that an hour?
Maybe not quite. Well, maybe from your house, but
yeah. If I go over the mountain,
yeah,
it'd be about an hour.
About an hour. Yeah, this final will say about an hour.
Yeah, man, get some bucky bites, boy.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that. But yeah, so we're gonna go down there, enjoy it as a fan, and spend some money, probably more than likely, especially with the kids, stuff like that. So, but the house we got there is pretty nice. We got enough room for all the kids, and then it's got some game like pool and darts and all that stuff. So, getting pretty excited about that. Just get down there on the water, man. I'm looking at the weather for this event. Okay, so I've gone through AccuWeather and I've gone through WeatherBug. So WeatherBug was showing Dayton, Tennessee. Let's see the 10-day forecast. So I will get down there on Saturday. So it's gonna be 52, and then it's showing Sunday 53, Monday 59, Tuesday 61. Actually, they've warmed it up a lot more than it was going to be, but the lows Saturday and Sunday are going to be 31 and 32 degrees. So, but if I go to but see, that's saying 50. So, granted, I know this is a ways out. So the weather changes so much, it'll drive you nuts to even trying to pay attention to it. But I was looking at AccuWeather, and it's pretty reliable thing here app, but let's see, Saturday they're saying 51, and then they're saying Sunday 48, Monday 48, Tuesday 56, and then Wednesday when the tournament starts it'll be 56, and then Thursday the final day will be 60. So if that's the case, Sunday will be a slugfest with these fish pulling up.
Yep.
But let's see, Sunday night it's going to be 28 degrees. And Monday night it's going to be 32. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and then Tuesday and Wednesday's rain. 60% chances of rain. So,
you got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, man.
A little variety.
Yeah. So, I got some things.
Unwanted variety.
Yeah. But, this is what makes it. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is what makes the championship. You want that kind of stuff. You don't want somebody to just come in and straight up. I mean, somebody still will come in and straight up dominate more than likely. But
it always happens.
Yeah, but I hate it to be consistent all week. I want stuff it to be a little challenging. You know what I mean? So you have to make changes, not just, hey man, I threw this spinnerbait all week long and caught 190 inches. Same stuff every day. I caught them just like it all through practice. It's good to make changes. It makes you a better fisherman, for one, when you got all that kind of things that change on you. You know what I mean? Somebody needs to make those right choices out on the water, whether it's hour by hour or day by day. You know what I mean? So looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a fun event. It's just gonna be challenging, like I like it. So, but anyways, after that we got Hartwell coming up, and that's gonna probably be a postponed event more than likely. That's what I'm thinking. But we're gonna be rooming with we got Craig and we got Bob Brisky and Jason and James and man, it was another guy Bob was talking about that was going to be staying with us. I can't think of his name. I apologize for that. But and then maybe Robert, one of our other team guys, Robert Brown. He might be coming to stay with us. He's not sure yet on that. He might have ship duty and stuff. So, but anyways, looking forward to that event. So just everybody stay tuned, man. I mean, I'm going to start doing some posting. I got a vlog for Guntersville that I did. I didn't do as much as I wanted to do, vlogging wise, just because like it was just weather. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, I got
looking
some
at the wind and rain.
Yeah, I got some video for that stuff. But other than that, we don't have a whole lot vlog. But I'm going to do more with the championship, with that walking to the expo, all that stuff. So looking forward to getting down there and just doing that kind of content. I like that content. I like doing vlogging stuff better than I do how-to videos. I mean, they're fun, but just vlogs.
Yeah, you don't have to. There's no script. Basically, you don't have to sit there and.
Yeah, when you're doing
mess something up, you're trying to do a how-to, you mess it up, you got to keep doing it until you get it right or whatever.
Yeah.
Vlog, you just do whatever.
And, when you do a how-to, sometimes you'll sit down and you edit and you're like, crap, I missed what line size I throw or what my rod setup was or something. You're
That's
like,
when you put it into text so everybody sees.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I look forward to getting down there and doing the vlog stuff. And if you guys haven't, man, make sure you go check out One Objective Outdoors and hit the subscribe button and check out all we're doing. I mean, that's all of our just vlogging, fishing, hunting, stuff like that. We don't have much hunting stuff. We're still trying to learn how to do that videoing with hunting, because it's tough, especially this year. Like I was trying to enjoy the moment with my son when he was when he killed his doe. You know what I mean? And then me and my daughter went out. We killed. I got two doe. I thought one was a doe, but got a doe and a button buck. And but I just didn't film all that. And I think next year I'm going to film a little bit more of that and kind of show that how we're doing all that stuff. Maybe doing some of the food plot stuff and all that. But if you guys do enjoy that stuff, comment down below if y'all like seeing the vlog stuff or y'all like just seeing straight up, 5-10 minute clips of how to, and if that's what you want to see. I don't know. I don't know what people like seeing anymore. Everybody's attention span is so short anymore. TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and all that, I think has shortened everybody's attention span anymore. Oh, yeah. So that's like I was talking about the other day, like reading books. I like reading, but even in Bassmasters now, I have like the Day on the Water. I love reading that stuff, but now I'm kind of like, I'm like 2 minutes in, and I'm like,
they need to make it into a TikTok video. They need to watch it.
Yeah, there we go, like a 2-minute segment. There's all the fish catches. That's what he did.
Well, I can do 6-minute videos on TikTok.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, yeah, that's. But we're kind of in that season now. Kind of get off that tournament stuff. We're kind of in that season now where it's pre-spawn for the most part of the country. Down south, it's spawning already. You know what I mean? Florida, hell, it's already spawned.
It's gone. It's already do second one here for a while.
Yeah. So I mean, but like when Casey won down there at Murray, I mean he was catching fish off the beds. So. We'll go to Guntersville. Some were on beds. A lot of them wasn't. It was like the first small wave was up there, but the weather conditions just screwed it all up, I think, for a lot of that. So, but it's granted we got this massive cold front to come through with snow and all that. But I think next week or the week after, you're really going to start seeing these pre-spawners moving into where they need to be moving into, especially around like Smith Mountain Lake and all that. I mean, they're catching some bags right now, man. Some monster bags at Smith. I think the Fishers of Men tournament took 20. What did the thing say? 23 pounds or 24 pounds?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen all the boats out there. I figured there's something going on. So
yeah. So and then it was 21 pounds per second. I think all the way down to 5th place was like 20 pounds.
Who won it? I wonder.
I can't remember the names that won it. But man, I had to look that up in a minute. But and it was a 9-pound big bass caught. In LT Burnett the other week, last week or something, caught a 9-pounder. So it's some monsters. They're starting to get some bigs in there. You know what I mean? Starting to get some bigs.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I mean, they did the F1 Tiger Bass stuff. I don't think that 9-pounder, I could be wrong, but I don't think that 9-pounder was F1 Tiger Bass. But you're starting to see more and more consistent bags of 20s, So I'm sure a lot of these 3s and 4s are. I don't know. I don't know how fast these fish grow. We need to get a biologist on to talk about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so it's some big bags being caught, but we're getting into pre-spawn. I just kind of want to go over a few baits that I like to throw this time of year. I'm not going to get fully into full setups with it, but just like some of the baits that I love to throw in the pre-spawn. Probably one of my number one baits that I like to have on is going to be a jerk bait. I still throw a jerk bait up between 55. When it's 50, I mean, I know a lot of people throw it during the winter, but for me, when it's about 55 up to like 60, I'll be throwing that jerk bait around. And I always have a jerk bait, and then I have my jig on. I always have like a green pumpkin jig. I'm working a jerk bait. I'll work it around some laydowns, and I'll pick that jig up and I'll flip it over, especially on a really good sunny day. It's hard to beat that jig around some laydowns and around some docks and way up under some docks and stuff. They get up under there. So that's my two, like, you're guaranteed you're going to see those on my boat. And a lot of times it depends on the watercolor what I'm throwing, but I'm either going to throw like just some kind of natural shad color, or I'm going to throw table rock. Whether it's, some companies don't call it table rock. They call it the chartreuse shad or whatever, but it's like a little bit brighter sides.
They
like
call it the wrong name, but they call it.
Yeah. It's all table rock. Yeah. Table rock. That's the color.
That's all I need.
But I did a video a while back with some jerk baits talking about that, and not all table rock is the same. Like
really?
Yeah, like if you look at some of the Lucky Crafts, it's more like a bone white with the purple. But you get some Lucky Crafts, it's like a brighter, like almost chartreuse side with a purple back.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyways, but I've been throwing a Berkeley Stunner here lately, and I have really grown to love that jerk bait. Caught a lot of fish off that jerk bait. So, but then, if between the jig and the jerk bait, when the water temperature starts really warming up and they're starting to move up on the banks, you can't beat a Cinco or a shaky head or any of that stuff. You know what I mean? But Cinco's best when they're just really lethargic and they get lockjaw around that time when they're cruising and all that stuff. When you start seeing them for cruising, they're really hard to catch, especially if they already see you. But if you got a good pair of Waterland sunglasses on,
oh yeah, you can see them all.
You can see way out there. And man, we got them new ones coming. Yours is coming. We just got them. I don't have them with me. But we got the new.
I will find a picture and share them.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Hey, let's go get my new sunglasses for me.
Okay,
I got listed down here. They're up on the table somewhere. Ask Mama for my new ones. So, anyways, we got the new bed fishers coming out, man. I'm excited about them dudes. Like normally I don't get into that like full lens thing, you know what I mean? It just the way it fits my face. But these fit my face pretty good. I really like them. So, and they're vented on
good. Mine coming tomorrow. I can't wait to take them out and look at them.
Yeah, I did a little TikTok or Instagram video, whatever, on there, unboxing of it. But when they're out there cruising around, it's hard to beat a Cinco, weightless Cinco. They'll eat that dude up because it hits the water softly. It's got a slow, steady fall. And it can turn around and just come up and gulp it up. You know what I mean? But when they're cruising, it's really tough. It's really tough to catch them. You gotta be real sneaky and ease up on them,
Yeah.
But Alyssa's got them right here. So, anyways, this is basically it right here.
Good looking pair of glasses.
Look at them back. See the vent.
Oh yeah.
It keeps them
from fogging up.
Yeah, it keeps them from fogging up, man. Them dudes are nice. I do like them. Nice Waterland sunglasses, but. It's got that I can't remember what they call it. I just call it blue. They got a name for them, but that blue tint on them, and they are super nice for those bright sunny days when the fish are up there in the shallow water cruising around. Now, if it gets cloudy, you're gonna want that more copper looking color,
Yeah.
That helps brighten everything up. So thank you, Alyssa, for getting us. But anyways, I'm going to be throwing a Cinco around. That's going to be, when you look at the front deck of my boat, it's always a lot of rods, but it's going to be things that are going to be light and simple to throw. You know what I mean? But like I say, a Cinco is really hard to beat. And then next, I'm going to end up going through a shad wrap in that natural shad color. And I throw that on a spinner reel, but I throw the real small one. I don't know the number on it, the size of it. It's a little bit smaller one. It dives to like 5-6 foot, something like that.
Yeah.
I throw that on a spinning reel and just bomb it out there on some of these like little small short points. But yeah, the shad wrap's hard to beat then. And then when I start seeing them where they're on the bed, I know we're getting into spawn, but it happens fast. Pre-spawn and spawn can happen really, really quick. And when they're up on the bed, it's hard to beat the missile baits, baby destroyer and candy grass. I guess it mimics that perch color, and they just destroy that bait. They just
destroyer.
Yeah. I mean, they just straight up murder that bait when it hits that bed. Sometimes you got to play around and tap them a little bit with it and make them mad. But 9 times out of 10, when that thing comes in there, they're going to move to it and check it out.
Take a friend with you to make them mad for you.
Yeah. me and Chris had a few of those fishing trips where, like when we go and we find one on bed, it's you get, 1 flip, I get 1 flip, or you get 2 flips, I get 2 flips, whatever, how we work it out.
Yeah.
And then, it's just however it works. You know what I mean? And Chris, it seemed like there for a while, Chris was making them mad, and then they finally hit mine, and I had to catch them. Chris is like, I think I'm just making them mad for you.
Yeah.
But last year was a little different, like on the spawn. You know what I mean? We didn't catch it at a good time. When me and you went, remember I caught that one off in Mag Draft.
Yeah, off the old.
Yeah, off the Mag Draft. Yeah. I love that bait.
Yeah, caught that. That was a big one there. You caught it.
Yeah, that was like, I think it was like 4 pounds, something like that. Yeah. Might have been a little bigger than that.
It's in the intro video.
Yeah, it's the one we caught in the intro there. We had Matthew there.
I'm actually wearing this jacket in that video.
It was like a 3 or 4 pounder we ended up catching off of that, but then we just didn't find many on beds. Like it was kind of a cool front that day that came in.
Yeah, it wasn't very warm that day.
Yeah, so we struggled finding a lot on beds. We found some in the back of a couple creeks there, and some smaller ones, nothing big. So, but I'm hoping we hit it this year at a good time. Go out there and play around.
I caught one off of the bed back there in Saunders, and then you caught that giant one.
Yeah, caught right there at the mouth of Saunders.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I think it's this year's gonna set up good. We got the power poles this year and spot lock on the boat, so I think now we're gonna be ready for them.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Yeah, it's gonna be game changer. Yeah. Everybody uses that word, game changer.
Yeah, game changer.
So, anyways, we'll I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, that's my top baits there that I'm gonna throw. So like I say, pre-spawn into spawn, jerk bait, jig, Cinco, shad wrap, and a shad color, natural shad is what I like, what it's called, natural shad. And then I like also throwing like a baby missile based destroyer. Now, talking about Cincos, and you're talking about there's so many different stick baits out there, and I do want to bring this up. It's hard to beat the Cinco. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's hard to beat the original Cinco out there. I'm gonna say the next best that I've had success with is gonna be the 48. The missile bait's 48. That's been a good all around bait. They got some really great colors, and the way it's made with the ends of it kind of get a little wider on the ends. It's got a really good fall to it. So that's another bait to check out. When if you're not much into paying all that money for the Cincos, because they're expensive and they don't last. Yeah. They're just daggone what 85% salt seems like. So they don't last long. And
like $8 a pack.
Yeah. So but anyways, that's my top baits for the pre-spawn fishing. I just want to go in depth a little bit with that and what my top baits are then. But other than that, I mean, I think we ain't got far to go right now. I think it's still going to be, fishing a little bit deeper or in that 10 to 15 foot range around Smith Mountain, or cranking. I think a lot of guys are going to start, really taking advantage of the crankbait bite. I couldn't seem to get the A-rig bite going that strong this year. I mean, I caught quite a few fish off of it, but I couldn't ever get a good limit going with it. So just ready to get past that, get into this pre-spawn stuff, get the big boat out. We're going to do that when we get back after this championship. We need
to start warming up a little bit.
Yeah. Hopefully. Anyways, now it wants to snow here in March. So.
Oh yeah, well I kind of figured that was going to happen.
Yeah. What does it say? What was it? In like a lamb, out like a lion. So
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But anyways, other than that, guys, that's basically all we got to talk about. I'm sorry we didn't do it live. It just scheduling, it wasn't going to work out. So we got a lot going on before I leave to go out of town. So I just wanted to get y'all a good show, give you a rundown of how Guntersville went, because I really didn't do a Facebook post on Guntersville. Like it was just, I didn't have much to talk about. You know what I mean? Like people getting these long drawn out posts, I just didn't have much to talk about with it. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button if you're on Facebook and YouTube. Also, hit the subscribe button. Check out our other channel, One Objective Outdoors. That way you can go out there and just see all our vlogs of fishing trips and hunting trips and just family time in general. And also, if you're on iTunes, please give us a good rating, hopefully, and talk and do a little thing what you like about our show. So, on that, guys, we'll talk to you later. Chris, I appreciate you coming on, helping out with this as you always do.
problem.
And we'll talk to you guys later.
See you.
See you.